is Dean from Escape to Gaming. Thought I'd do a little roadside vlog today. I try to, once a week, I kind of string all my errands together, and that way I can save gas and save the wear and tear in my spine and try to get them all done at once. So I've got some fun errands I'm running today. I'm getting in a key made to the house. The house will officially be on the market tomorrow. I already have a lockbox installed outside. She said just go ahead and get your key made and then put the key in there and slide it in. It's a done deal tomorrow. They're going to start showing the house. We'll have a big open house this Saturday, and she thinks it could go in a week, probably 2 weeks max. We've got it priced really good. The place looks great. I mean, I really dialed it in. I've had a long time. We've had over a year to plan this out. My wife and I went to Maui, not last August, we canceled that trip, but we went the August before. And we had never planned on moving from California until we went to Maui. And then we came back and we just said, God, I didn't want to come back. It's so nice there. I hate to leave and go back to California to the crime and the traffic and just the stress and the high cost of living and everything. Of course, Hawaii is very expensive as well. And we looked at what it costs to move there. We could make it work, but it would be really tough. It would be lean. You'd have to probably, move into like a one-bedroom condominium. And even then, the prices start at like $750,000 and up just for a one-bedroom condo of like 500 square feet. It could be done. You'd have to really streamline. It'd be tough to have a game collection. You'd have to have it probably in a mini storage and then go to the mini storage once a month and pick out, a dozen games or movies that you want to watch and then do it that way because you wouldn't have much room for it. So we kind of quickly ruled that out. But when we started thinking, I go, well, is there anywhere else we could move? I just don't want to live here anymore. It's just the taxes are going up, up, up. It's not going in a direction that I like. And we wanted something better. We want a better way of life. We can't even take a walk at night. The neighborhood is not the greatest, and we've already had some really sketchy issues even doing that. We're taking a walk every night for a while, and then we had a couple run-ins with some homeless people that are, strung out on drugs, and one of them asked to use our phone. We said politely no. He didn't like that and kept following us and harassing us. And I just told him, I can't even take a walk after when I get home from work. I mean, this is terrible. So we made a decision. I started my new job the early first week of January of 2019. Oh God, these bumps kill me. And we decided by mid-January that we were committed to making this move and making it work. The problem is my wife had only been at a job a couple years, and she had to work one more year for her to get all of her 401k benefits that she's paid into. She paid, I don't know, $10,000 or $11,000. Of course, they match. Whatever you put in, they'll match. But if you leave before the 3 years is up, this is part of her contract, then you only get the money that you put in. You don't get the money that they put in. And so she had to stay another year. So she just made it till the end of December. And then that's when she started. And it doesn't mean you can move right then. You still have to find a job. We weren't going to move there without a job first. We didn't know if it would take her a year to find a job, a month, a week. We didn't know. It's a much smaller community than the big cities here in California. So everything worked out fine. She actually got some job offers like within a week. We were shocked. The wages were not that great. That's like I mentioned in my previous vlog. They were like, $10,000 to $20,000 less a year, which we could make it work. If we had the cars paid off and everything, we probably could do it. And it'd be fine. I mean, we're happy to have the things that we have. I don't have to live high off the hog. I'm happy with my little house that I have now. But a lot of things have changed. My brother-in-law died. Now we're probably going to be raising his young boy. He's got a boy that's just a couple years old, and he's got another one that's like 8 years old. And she's already been in the hospital once since a funeral for 3 days in a coma because of her lupus. She has a really severe form of lupus, which it doesn't look good. So we don't know if she'll live another year, 6 months, tomorrow, 5 years. We don't know, but we're preparing for that. So we have to get a bigger house. We have to. There's just no ways around it. And Laura's mother is like, she wanted to give us the money to put down on the house. She goes, it's very important to me that you take care of Paul's boys. And we said, no, we'll do it. We can do it on our. We don't need the money to put down on the house. I'm gonna get a little pickup video here. The traffic is just intense. Exit here. This thing runs good. I put a new Can-Am air filter in it, and it runs like a Ray Babe now. I mean, it has probably another 10 or 15 horsepower, but it gets a lot more induction, and you can hear it and feel it. It's awesome. So it's the only time I can really get on is getting on the freeway. Driving around town, I have to go with the flow, but car runs great. I'm real happy with it. I got it all, tuned up, oil changed, tires, brakes, everything's been checked out, battery, everything. So it's good for the trip. Had it all repainted, had the front protected, so it's good to go. My wife's car, we had everything serviced on that at the Nissan dealership right before she left, so it's safe for her too. Okay, I think I'm trying to remember how to get to this. Got to go to a UPS center to mail my good friend Jeremy, who's responsible for, I think like 7 packages of video games I've got from him all last year, part of the year before. And so I have a special gift for him. I've been slowly kind of eliminating, getting rid of a lot of things, not because I really have to, but just because I want to try to lighten the load. And it feels good to give. I've had so many friends that have helped me out, so before I make a new beginning, I want to kind of do something for my friends and to help them out. And so this is really nice to be able to give, like give Steve the TV, and I gave, Tyler my analog TV, and I'm trying to streamline, got rid of a bunch of my box set DVDs I gave to Steve, and streamline because I had kind of replaced some of them with Blu-rays and didn't really need the DVDs anymore. I even gave him some box sets I had where I haven't even replaced them yet, but I'm planning on it because I know in the future I'll, get some of those movies and TV show box sets. So it feels nice to give and to help other people out as much as I can. I've had so much help in the community, and this year I've really tried to give back. And so I'm on my way to mail some stuff for my wife. She had some important mail I'm going to ship to her P.O. box in Boise. And then I've got a special gift that my friend Jeremy's going to love. I can't tell you what it is yet, bud, but you'll really love this. This is like, really rare and probably valuable. I don't know, but it's something that's been I cherish since my childhood. And I know he's going to get a big kick out of it, being a fan of the same stuff that I am. So I'm excited about that. Then I'm going to run down to GameStop and then place an order for Doom Eternal. I think if you pre-order it, you'll get Doom 64 remastered for free. A nice little incentive, I've never played Doom 64, but eventually I'm going to find the cartridge, from my N64 so I can try it. My friend Silverwings21 is doing a live stream today of it, ironically. And I watched just a couple minutes of it before I went out the door, and it looks like he's conquering. He's playing it on hard, too, and he's kicking ass. It looks pretty awesome. Just a little dark, kind of hard to see, but I'm anxious to, maybe a remastered version will be able to see it a little bit better. I don't know. So I'll do that, and I got to get that key made, and I'm going to shoot back home. But I thought I'd kind of talk about this whole deal and what my plans are, because I've had several people that said, Dean, why don't you do a vlog about your relocation or your move? We'd love to see it and have the move from California to Idaho and getting all set up and established there and getting your game room set up. Now I'm going to have an awesome game room there. Because we're going to have the boys, I'm no longer going to have a game room in the house. We're going to have a couple of rooms allocated for the boys, and then the master bedroom. So I'm going to have it out in the 3-car garage. Most of the homes here surprisingly have big 3-car garages that are nicely finished, and we only have the 2 vehicles right now that I got rid of the truck. I still have the money from the truck. I never even spent them. My wife had another 20 grand she had in savings, which I didn't even know about. Plus we've got the money from the truck, which was pretty good. And then I got the settlement on top of that, which is good. I just paid off all my credit cards. They're right around 10 grand, so it's nice to be debt free. Finally, God, it's so nice to have these damn credit cards paid off. I've been trying to pay them off now for 2 years, and that was one of my goals last year, was to get them all paid off, you know, with that last job that I had. And so this, you know, more than made up for it. So my real estate agent came yesterday, signed all the papers on the house. It looks like I'm going to have, with what we're asking for the house, I'm going to have right around $200,000 in equity, which I mentioned, God, months and months ago in another vlog. We have a little bit more equity than I thought. So we may not even need to put the settlement money down. We probably Laura wants to use that now to pay the cars off. We go, oh, okay, well, we could do that too. That's fine. It works for me. It's a lot more money a month we'll have. And we've got more than enough money. Like I said, Laura's mother wants to help, you know, with paying stuff, getting us into the house with a deposit. And we said no, thanks anyway. We get it under control. There's no need for that. And it's nice that so many people want to help. But it's a really good, it's going to be a great transition. We're very, very excited. We've been committed to this move, like I said, since last January. This has been a huge underpinning for us. We've been planning it out. I've been slowly working on this house for, 6 months or so now, just taking my time, doing a little bit at a time with my wife's help, painting one room at a time, patching the holes, repainting it. So the house, literally, it's going to be turnkey. Whoever gets it, it's got a nice new paint job. I did the outside a year ago. It's all fresh, still looks new. The whole inside's been repainted. The kitchen cabinet's been repainted. The garage I even repainted, even though I didn't have to. And so it's a turnkey deal. I believe in selling, whether it's a car or a house, I always make it in the best condition. So when they look at our house compared to others, this is like, hey, it's a done deal. You can just move in turnkey. You don't have to paint. You don't have to put new carpets in, window coverings. We're even leaving all the appliances, since the kitchens there are a lot different, and we've got a smaller fridge to fit with our mini kitchen we have now. So we're going to just leave everything there. We have a gas, dryer apparently, and there they don't have gas dryers. Everything is set up for electric. So we're just going to leave the washer and dryer and just get all new stuff. So I have plenty of money for that with what I've got from my truck sale on my truck, plus this big settlement I've got. We'll be set. So it's going to be nice. You still have to get like window coverings. There's a lot of unexpected costs that creep up. We need to get a new, we're giving our couches away. A friend of ours is moving into an apartment. He's leaving his mom's and needs a set of couches. I'm just going to give him the couches. They're brand new. They're only like a year and a half old. They're really nice couches. I offered them to Steve, but he doesn't have a need for them. I've got a couple nice desks. I don't even know what to do with those. I'd give those to someone. Those are like $800 a piece. A beautiful desk. But we're going to, some of the places there have like little mini offices with desks built in. So we're just going to get rid of the desk. We're going to keep the furniture though. Our bedroom sets and, the rest of the living room set and TV console and all that stuff. Their dining room set, everything. But we're streamlining. We're getting there. So it's going to be a fun move. I'm going to try to document it, and I'll show setting up the new game room. I'm thinking of taking one of the 3-car garages and then finishing it off. I might even frame like a wall and divide it off into pieces. So I don't really need a whole garage section, maybe even half of a section of a garage. We'll see. And then I put shelves out there and get everything set up, and we can have all my movies out there. I can have all my games, everything, like a little den, like a little place to go. And there, all the garages are insulated, fully finished. They even have epoxy floors already on them. It's beautiful. So I'll get back in just a minute. I'm going to go mail. I'm at my place now. I'm going to go to mail this at the UPS store, and I'll be right back and pick this blog up. now heading off to go to GameStop, which is kind of a ways from here, but be a nice drive. The weather's really nice today. I thought it'd be a great day to drive. It's really the last day I have. I can't really leave the house because I got to put Vinny away. The house will have a lockbox, so any realtor can come by and, you know, knock on the door and open it up, and I got to put Vinny in his room so he doesn't get out. So I'm going to be kind of a prisoner in the house for a while, but it's okay. It's still worth it. I mean, we're going to get quite a bit of money for the house, and this is a really good investment. We get everything riding on this, so very exciting. I want to thank all of you for the support. In my last video, I had a really positive amount of support. You know, I've been gone for a while, and I feel bad about that. I just couldn't figure out how to make a video, plus I've been really busy trying to wrap everything up on the house. I thought that I've been still, get through that light there real quick. I thought I'd take advantage of the drive here to try to film this, because I'm going to be really busy for the next few days. I still have to pack I got most of my cabinets packed. There's still a couple closets and kitchen cabinets I have to go through and pack things and what have you, so and then I got to work in the garage last. I'm trying to get the house completely dialed. The house looks great. All the rooms are picked up nice, except for my game room, which is kind of a mess. I have just 3 more boxes of collectibles to pack, all my little die-cast cars. My wife just ordered me some bubble wrap, which just came in, so now I can finish wrapping up the rest of my little collectibles in the game room. You know, I want to wrap them all nice and bubble wrap. I'm really taking the time this time to make sure the move is very smooth. So each box has been very carefully documented as to what's in the box. If there's, you know, let's say 15 boxes of video games, and I'll say 1 of 15, 2 of 15 on each box. And then I have a master list where everything is documented, so I want to keep track of it all. What I'm going to probably do is leave the video games and some of the movies and things and ship those myself. What we're going to do is Laura's going to fly back, and because her car is already there, and all we have is a Challenger now since I got rid of the truck. And so this traffic is terrible. And we're going to rent a big Suburban, brand new, 2020 Suburban, something huge, because the cost of our U-Haul in California is just outrageous, and everything is pretty much handled, but I don't trust my video games and consoles. I don't want to leave that to a moving van line where pretty much they have a lot of, kids by and large work for them. If they see something that says video games on it, they could open the boxes up and take stuff. I wouldn't know for God knows how long. So I'm going to ship those back. I'm going to drive back. I'll probably let Laura drive the Suburban. She's going to take Vinny with her, and then I'm going to take the Challenger, and then I'm going to put all my big TVs in the Challenger. I've got my 55-inch, my 46-inch Samsung. I'll lay those flat. I can put the back seat down like a station wagon, and they'll easily fit flat with some moving blankets, being protected. And I can probably bring my PC and a few other items along in the trunk as well. It's a huge trunk, and this trunk is enormous in this Challenger. Something that's nice about these Dodge is that they're really big, comfortable cars. I mean, it's like driving a fucking Cadillac. Or should I say a Chrysler Imperial? It's probably sacrilegious to call it a Cadillac where it's a Dodge product. But so it's exciting. We're going to make the final move. We already took Vinny in, had him checked out. We got some sedatives to give Vinny so he won't freak out for the long drive. It's about an 8 to 9 hour drive. There's not a lot of traffic. It's really a lot of 2-lane roads, most of it. And it's out in the middle. We can kind of take the back way. It's the most direct way to Boise. But it's a very lonely, you're out in the middle of nowhere, so it's nice to have newer vehicles. You don't want to do it in an old beater because you may not make it. Who knows we only saw 2 Nevada Highway Patrol state police cops the whole drive there. I was shocked. We never saw any highway patrol or anything. I was completely desolate on the road. You saw a few trucks here and there, and every now and then there'd be a passing lane where you could pass them. But we're looking forward to it. It's everything's in place. It's going to be a fun move. I'm really looking forward to setting up the new game room. I'm really thinking a lot about it. I may hide a lot of the things in just shelves, or have a giant, a room that's like a library with everything, is all my movies, you know, my DVDs and my VHS tapes and my Blu-rays, and then all my video games, and have them all documented on shelves. And then I may have like a little separate game room that's more like an office, where I'll just have a couple of bookshelves with just a few collectibles and keep it real nice, and maybe a nice little couch and TV setup in there where I can game. And I'm going to try to check in. I'm researching getting like some HDMI cable setup deals. They've got a couple different things. I was watching Metal Jesus had a thing pretty interesting on like comparing 3 or 4 different ways that you can play your, you know, N64 and one of these modern flat screen, you know, LCD TVs. So I'm researching that. I'm going to try to find another analog TV there. I'm sure there's a lot of old people in that area that probably are still, you know, getting rid of some old TVs. They're getting harder to find the analog TVs. And I just didn't want to risk moving that Trinitron, as nice as it was, and having it get damaged, you know, in a truck bouncing around. So I just said I'd rather give it to someone that'll have a good home. I'll just find another one, you know, or not. I mean, we'll see. If I find one, fine. If I don't, you know, we'll see what happens. But I'll probably come across one. So it's going to be a fun move. I'm really pumped. I've got everything documented, set up. The only thing I haven't packed yet is my Blu-ray player and my PlayStation 4 Pro, which is hooked up to my living room TV still. I kind of left the house somewhat staged. We have a lot of the furniture packed in the garage, but I left like the couches and coffee table and, you know, dining room table, just a few things and just a few pictures on the wall, so it looks somewhat staged. So the house looks really nice, makes a nice impression. I still have some ficus trees and some plants in there, which kind of make it look alive and, you know, kind of homey, but without, still relatively empty overall. The beds are still in the 2 bedrooms, and then I'll have to put Vinny in his game room, and then close the door with a little sign on it, please don't open the door, so the cat doesn't get out, kind of a deal. So we're hoping it'll sell fast, and like we said, the house is guaranteed to sell. If it doesn't sell within like a month, then Laura's company buys the house, and then they take on the burden of trying to flip it. So it's a great deal. I mean, you can't lose. You really can't. Really happy about that whole setup. So almost at GameStop. God, I haven't been down this way in quite a while. This is quite a drive down here. A lot of traffic today though, but so yeah, I want to get this Doom game. I think that's really one of the only games I'm going to really pre-order all year. I can't think of anything else. Oh, I downloaded a really great game last night. It's kind of an indie game. It's been out for 6 months or so. It's called Lonely Mountain Downhill or something like that. Lonely Mountain Downhill, I believe it is. It's an indie game. It's about $20, and you can get it on the Switch, on the PlayStation 4, and on the Xbox, and on Steam as well. And it's a really cool, kind of like that Downhill Domination on the PlayStation 2. Between that and kind of like a Trials Evolution kind of a deal, where you're going, but it's more 3D. You're controlling the bike, a little bike. It's a very simplistic polygon look to it, almost like Firewatch, where everything is kind of minimized and simplified, the graphics, but it's really cool. There's no music. It's just very serene. You're like going down these beautiful mountains, and they're really tricky. It's a lot more tricky than it looks. It's very challenging. And there's multiple ways you can go down the mountain, but you can wreck real easy. And supposedly the controls are good. I haven't played it yet. I put in a couple more hours of my Terminator Resistance last night. I want to wait until I get to some of the T800s before I upload any more of that. I love that game. God, I'm having so much fun with that, thanks to my good friend Solid Rev. He gets mad at me if I thank him too many times, so I won't say any more about it. But I love the game, dude. It's just so good. Having so much fun with it. I want to really try to finish that before I delve into like Grid or you know, Need for Speed Heat, as much as I'm dying to play those. I want to get at least halfway into the game to where I'm more into the game. Jesus, I got to try to turn around here. I have to go down this row here. Oh man, it takes its toll on my back. These speed bumps are just like a ice pick going up your spine every time I hit one of them. Overall, the car is pretty comfortable. I really love this thing. It runs so good right now. I get it all dialed in. I just filled it up with premium, so it's running in tip-top shape. Okay, where's the... Here we go. I'll park right here. This looks good. I might tempted to get another game while I'm here. I probably won't, though. I got more than enough games. I got that indie game because it really looked good. I love that Downhill Domination. I love the Trials games. I have all Trials Fusion, Trials Evolution, HD, the collections I have off the Xbox 360. So I'm going to run in real quick and pre-order this game at GameStop, and then I'll be right out and I'll continue the blog here, or vlog, I should say. So I got my Doom Eternal pre-ordered. The deluxe edition and the collector's edition had already sold out. So I'm not sure what was in those, but it would have been interesting to see. I might have gotten one of them. But I'm happy to get it. At least it's going to come with the Doom 64 remastered, which is pretty awesome. I also found out, I asked them if they had a copy of Railway Empire, and they said no. They said it's really hard to find. There's only like one GameStop that had one. But the guy said they're coming out with a new version of it, like a complete edition, in May, which has all the DLC. So I'm just going to wait and get that because it looks great. I love that Railroad Empire. It's kind of like the what's it called? Tycoon Empire, the one with the Roller Coaster Tycoon, I think it's called, or something like that. Very similar, but it looks fun. It looks really nice. But yeah, anyway, I got this Lonely Mountain Downhill, I think it's called. I started to talk about it earlier. It's a very pleasant, beautiful art style. It's very just gorgeous. The way they capture like little birds, butterflies flying through the air, and there's all kinds of, there's no music, but there's like ambient sounds, and you can hear the wind as you're riding down the hills, and the water and the birds. It's very, just a very pleasant, chill game. But it's very challenging, and as you go farther and farther into it, you can unlock more mountains, and then there's more outfits you can unlock, and better bikes that with different shocks. Some of them you can take more risky downhill jumps and drops over like little cliffs and stuff. It's fantastic. It's more 3D instead of Trials Evolution, where it's just on like a single track and you only have to worry about kind of leaning forward and back. This you have to worry about. It's like a 3D thing, almost like a Micro Machines, the old Micro Machines games, back in the day. It reminds me of those with that kind of controller, like RC Cam or RC car controls, the same kind of deal. Those old arcade games I used to play. It looks very cool. Check out some reviews on it. It looks amazingly good. I was gonna, I'm not gonna get any more games on, digital games, and I happened to see a thing on the like top 10 best indie games of last year, and that was one of them. Like, wow, and it says it's on the PlayStation 4. Oh, I gotta get that. I had never heard of it. I'm just amazed, I played Guns, Gore, and Cannoli I got last year, the first one and the second one. I've only played the first one. Haven't quite finished it. It's really tough. I had uploaded some gameplay of it. It gets tough. I mean, I could not get past, I must have had like 25 attempts at this one level, and I just kind of stopped playing it at that point. I'm not giving it. I'll go back to it again. I mean, I could lower the difficulty, but I don't want to. I want to try to beat it on the the basic default settings. I can never lower the difficulty of a game. I'll bump it up if anything, but I won't lower it. But gaming's fun. I'm just very limited. It's tough. Games like this, downhill mountain, Lonely Mountain downhill thing. Games like that I can lay down on my side and play. They're very chill. Even Guns, Gore, and Cannoli, little simple platformers, I can kind of play the same way. But it just becomes very challenging to get a really twitch-based, really fast-paced game, kind of like Doom 2016. I purposely haven't played it, and it looks so good, as the new one does. Here I'm buying the new one. I haven't even played the 2016 one, but I want to support it. I love it. I've always bought their games day one. going back to Rage, Doom 3, all of them. I'm a huge Doom 3 fan. I gave my copy. I had the special deluxe edition, collector's edition, that had the metal, the steel case and the slip cover and all that. And I gave that to my friend Cameron, along with one of my modded Xboxes as a gift over Thanksgiving. Because he really wanted an original Xbox, and I said, what better gift than to give him one that's been gone through? So my friend Steve went through 3 of them for me, so I took one, and there's not a scratch on it. He loves it. He's very happy. It has CoinOps 8 installed in it already, so he has like the ultimate Xbox. It's got a pretty good size hard drive. He can install quite a few games in it as well. But I wanted to give him at least one Xbox game to go with it, so I said, what's the highest quality? And I think it's in 1080i, if I'm correct, or at least 720p on Doom 3. So I wanted to give him one high-quality one. Then I told him I didn't have an extra set of component cables, but I said, just do yourself a favor and order like a Hyperkin or a Pound HDMI, or get a set of component cables right away for it, so you can play it on your flat-screen TV. Which he ordered. He said they came in. So I'm anxious to hear from him soon how that turned out. He loves it. Plus I gave him my one of my art pieces, which one was it? The Call of Duty World at War. He loves it. He's got it up in his room. He's already made a video showing the Xbox and the art sign that I did, so which is very cool. I'm gonna try to move this camera over here. I still have to get a mount. This camera, the camcorder I'm holding is too heavy for the simple mounts that I have, so unfortunately I have to hold the thing with my hand, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So I thought I'd have one last day to run some errands. The only thing I have left to do is I gotta go out and get a haircut and buy a new suit for the wedding, which I'm going to probably do this weekend, maybe Sunday or Monday morning, I think. And then other than that, I'm good. I got to fly down the end of next week for my daughter's wedding. I'm really proud of her. She really found a really nice guy. He's a gamer too. He's got an Xbox One. I don't know if he has a One X or not, but he does a lot of the online, more of the, like Modern Warfare, a lot of the online Call of Duty type games and Battlefield, if I'm correct. Kind of scoffed at some of my single-player games when he saw I was there like last Thanksgiving, or no, it was a Christmas before last, a couple years ago, and he saw that I got as a gift. I got the Tomb Raider game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and he's like, "What's this?" Oh, I don't play these single-player games. I can't get into them, But I was just happy. At least he's a gamer, and my daughter still games too, which is pretty cool. So she's really happy that they brought back a lot of those Spyro games and Ratchet and Clank. It just is like she's back in her heyday. So she gets excited and she sends me a text, "Hey Dad, look, they got this free." So I know, they're awesome. Do yourself a favor and play them. They look awesome. They've never looked better or played better. So at least I'm happy for her. She's married a really good guy. The guy's from a good family. He works in a family business. They have a printing business where they print labels down in Orange County. Very successful. So eventually he'll inherit that business. So I feel good that she's in good hands, and she was with a really, not a great guy before that just abandoned her and the baby. Just took off. What's with these guys that have no balls to take care of a woman? They're just pussies, they don't have what it takes. You have to be a man and do the right thing by your family, and they can't do it. Rare to even see people get married anymore, and then the ones that do are the ones that do, they knock a chick up and then they leave him high and dry. Well, he's going to raves and all this shit, and I wasn't thrilled when she dragged this guy home. Oh God, Paul, you can do so much better. My daughter's gorgeous. She could be a model. She's absolutely beautiful. I'm very, very proud of her. She's going to school. She's working full time. She's a mother, and she's doing a great job. She's really raised her daughter right, and I'm real proud of her accomplishments and even her value system. She rebelled against it initially, against us and our ways of doing things, but in the end, she came around, and now she's a lot like us and thinks the way we do, which makes me very proud. because her real father is the opposite, and she actually is not thrilled with the way he is now, the way that he has raised her versus the way we raised her, and she wishes that he was a little bit more tough on her and hadn't spoiled her so much. So I take that as a personal victory. Oh, this traffic is crazy today. That's what you get for going out in the middle of the day, but it's not as crazy in Idaho. There's traffic there too, but it's not near as bad as here. This traffic here is horrible. You can't get anywhere to save your life. But we're looking forward to it. I'm going to document the vlog along the way. I've had a lot of requests for that, and I'm not going to bore you with every little detail, but I'm just giving you the basics, as we're coming into so much information so fast. And we've had everything set in stone. Like I said, I was going to prepare to just fly back and forth to go to court hearings for the next year or whatever it took until this thing was over, but it just so happened that they settled when they did. And she goes, you want to take the settlement? And I thought about it. I talked to my wife about it, and she says, just take the settlement. Your back can't take flying back and forth. It's going to be too much of a hassle and headache, and I'd rather just have the bird in the hand than two in the bush. We're not greedy. We have more than enough money for what we need. I don't care about making another 150 grand by taking the guy to the cleaners. I just wanted what was coming to me in the way of my salary that I should have gotten and criminally didn't because of the fraudulent, behavior, sadly. I'm sure he's learned his lesson by now. And he'll have to pay for that too, because his insurance rates are going to go right through the ceiling. But anyway, moving onward and upward, things are going in a good direction. I still have to get my surgery. Next week, I've got my appointment with my neurologist, finally. I've been waiting for over a month and a half for this appointment. This is the big appointment where I'm going to be able to finally decide which option I can take. He's going to go over all my options now that he has all this myriad of test results. And then I'll be able to get back to work. I'm just going crazy. I'm not designed to just sit at home and do nothing. I go nuts. And even when I'm home, I'm constantly doing little projects and working around the house, or I can't take it at home anymore. I can't. I don't even care about the money. I may just get a job at a lot less money than I used to make. I don't even care, because we've got plenty of money with what my wife makes. But I just want to pay into Social Security so I can retire, and that way I'll get a more stout Social Security check. Because if I continue to work self-employed, I can make more money doing that. But the problem is that I won't get much for Social Security. And then when I retire, there's nothing. So I've got to do something. And by paying into that, I can, I'm paying into Medicare and paying into the system enough to where I'll get some health care and I'll get some Social Security checks, 7-8 years from now, whenever I decide to retire, which is what I'm planning on doing. So, but I'm looking forward to returning to I'm at the next level now. I stopped. I'm at the next chapter in my Terminator Resistance game. I got through another chapter last night. I just love the world. It's just like Fallout 4. Great exploration, RPG elements, hacking, lots of little mini games. I haven't got to the hacking yet, to those skill levels. And you slowly develop more and more skills. You eventually get the plasma weapons, and then you can upgrade those and upgrade your skills and everything. It's amazing. I'm really happy with that game. Sadly, it had I've had several people have asked about it. It has a extremely low print run, very low print run, which I didn't realize when I was going to pre-order it, and then Solid Rev offered to get it for me, and I'm glad he did. I didn't realize it was so rare. And Jeremy said, "Dude, I had a hell of a time even finding a copy of that game." He had to get someone that canceled their pre-order, and that's how he eventually found one. It's going for $100 to $150 on eBay already, which is crazy. I'm back home now at my home. I'm trying to find my remote control here. Oh God, this bump just kills my back. That's like enough driving. I had fun, and it's like I'm glad to be home. A few minutes of driving is fine, but I can't do hours of it. It's just too much. squeeze this thing in the garage with all the shit here. Oh, fuck. There we go. Perfect. Well, I'm back home, guys. Thanks for watching the vlog. I'm going to try to upload some more gameplay soon. I'm really happy to be back in the saddle again with gaming. I just had to wait till my blood pressure went down substantially, and finally it got to where it dropped way down quite a few points, and it stabilized more or less. Every day it was kind of staying there. I mean, it was over like 177 over, almost 115, 120. It was crazy high. I mean, it was like on the verge of a stroke. And then it eventually went down to like 166 and just stayed there over 115. And my doctor said that's still too high. So I tried that new medication. Now it finally dropped down to like 155. Now I'm down in the 130s, like 138, 136 over 95. So it's much, much better now. So again, thanks guys for your support. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your games and game collections. As I have more information with this vlog and the move, I'll try to upload it in chunks and let you know along the way how it's going. But I really do appreciate all the help and the love and the support. Thanks guys. God bless.